Yo, yo, yo. What it is, what's popping? First and foremost, I like to say, you know, to all my Fly Gang members, forever live young. That's my definition of fly. You know, it's all about a mental mind state. Kind of, sort of like the mama mentality. You know, no matter who you are, where you're from, how old you are, or how young you are, what you think of yourself is what you'll get from yourself. If you think you're old and washed up because you're 35, 40, or 45, then guess what? That's the results and the lifestyle you're going to get from yourself. But if you look at yourself as a person that is youthful in mind, body, and spirit, then you can never be old. And that's just the way I look at things from my point of view. And that's my acronym for FLY, Forever Live Young. And with that, it's about health, wealth, and prosperity. And if you're young in mind and spirit, then you have to be courteous and lift up the next person. That's a part of being fly. Fly ain't all about, your decor or your fashion or, how you're presenting yourself. It's all also about the person who you truly are. The hardest thing I think for black men in America is to be a man, to be able to admit being wrong to something, for something, or about something without feeling like, you have to defend that. It's like it's okay for black men and men in general to be vulnerable. It's okay for that. Because I honestly think that in today's world, in today's society, that not enough men are vulnerable. And what I mean by saying that is being vulnerable means you can cry in front of your wife and kids and not feel that they will look at you as weak or as anything less than who you are if you didn't cry. See, the thing is with most black Americans and most black youth, it's like from a very early age, we're taught to be tough. And if you're not tough, then you're weak. But that is so outdated and so false. Because it's like, you don't have to be tough, be street, or be gangster, or about that life, or none of that to be about you and to be a serious person. The biggest misconception for black men in America today is the whole persona that we have to be rugged and tough and that we can't let no one do anything to us. That is so false. That is a very false narrative. Because it's like, in a world of billions of people, do you think that you're honestly gonna agree with everybody you meet? Every person you meet, you think you're gonna, agree on everything that it is that you guys may, indulge on. And it's not. And it's okay. Just like if I don't like the way you do something or the way you care, that doesn't mean that we're in conflict. That doesn't mean that I'm against you or you're against me. It just means that my opinion, from my perception, I don't like the way you do something. That doesn't mean that it is factual that this is the way you operate and this is how I view you. No, that's just from not knowing you, seeing what I see. And it's like, for me, being a black man, I suffer from this complex as well. Because it's like, and I can recall it, you know what I mean? In so many instances and situations where, I could have easily called a person, had a direct conversation, and that alone would have killed the situation. But me, you know, coming up the way that I did, and the hood mentality, the hood mind state, like, oh, you know, I can't admit that, that I feel some type of way, or I'm gonna look like I'm weak. The only such thing that is weakness within the black community, the one thing that is weakness is us not supporting how each other feel about no matter what it is. It's like, you gotta think, man, like, some kids grow up and they're just smart, they're great, and they're just on another fucking channel. That doesn't mean that they're dorky, they're not cool, or that they're not fun. No, that does not mean that, because my nephew is a very great prime example for that statement. Like, my nephew, he's 6'2", 210 pounds, beautiful eyes, great, skin, all that stuff. But you know what? He can't see that in himself, because other black males that are around him see him as a handsome male that the women like. And guess what? Because he's not gangster, or because he's not tough, or because he don't want to fight, they're like, oh, you're not real. So they tell the girls, and that, oh, he pussy, he's this and he's that, and make these complexes about a person that it doesn't even fucking matter. Is it important whether or not a person is tough or not? Like, is that, like, really important at this day and age? Does that really, like, define a person? Does that make a complete black male, that you're fucking aggressive, combative, can't fucking articulate your words to people, or can't talk out your problems with people because it's something that you haven't been taught? Like, we got to do better as the black community. We got to teach ourselves, man. How many of us before us that did make that sacrifice, who didn't have the opportunities we got now? School, a guaranteed education, learn, read. The biggest thing with black people is, like, we get to a certain age where we feel like reading is useless, but reading is everything. This is what keeps your vocabulary fresh, so you're not using the same words, you're not repetitive, you're not stumbling over the words, you're not trying to find what it is you're trying to say. Because, like, that's the most frustrating thing I could say. For me, growing up as a black male, I felt like, when people stereotyped me or viewed me the wrong way, it's like I couldn't articulate to them who I truly was, because it's like all I had was anger and aggression. Like, oh damn, just because I'm black, I'm this and I'm that. And it's like, when you do that, you're not realizing that you're kind of proving a point. Because it's like, if you're not this type of person, or if you're not that type, then you don't have to explain that to no one, because you know what? They'll see that in you when they're around you. You never have to tell nobody, oh, I ain't know, I'm not this, I'm not that. You want to know why? They'll already see it. And that's the reason they're around you. But it's like, like I said, with black men, it's like the roughness that we come up in, the environments, and the music, and the guys who are getting money in this. It's like, we just forget that that's not who we have to become. Like, there are true opportunities for black men out there, and it's like, but it's so much easier to make an excuse. And like I said, I'm not just saying that to you or you guys. Like, I'm guilty of that myself. Because I can be honest and say that, because I've been in and out of group homes, and jail institutions, prisons, and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how to be a man without being aggressive. And I can admit that because, like I said, like, I don't have a complex anymore. Like, I'm tired of feeling the way I feel about situations and, like, not knowing why. And I used to think, like, oh, well, it's because I'm black and I grew up like that. That's not a fucking excuse, man. We can change who we are. We have a choice. Black men, young black youth, you have a choice. You don't have to do what the other people that were before you did, or you don't have to live up to other people's expectations. You don't. Because in the end, you're the only person that matters. Because in the end, there's nobody that's going to be in your home with you, getting your fucking money for your rent, showing your kids love, being the man of the house. There's nobody that can do that except you. And we got to reach deep down within ourselves to find that within us. We got to, like, try so much harder to view each other as different human beings and not the fucking opposition. Think about this, man. If Martin Luther King, if Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, you feel me? Mr. Douglas, like, tell me, if these people were still here today, you think that they would be happy with seeing the things that, in the stance that black people were in? In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, anything happened to one black individual or any minority from the minority community, guess what happened? You had the whole entire community come together. What happened to that? It's like, I've been working on so many jobs, and one thing that I can honestly say, every job that I worked on, every time I saw Hispanics, it didn't matter if they were Colombian, Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, it did not matter. They all stuck together. When they were working together, if one didn't have food, guess what? Everybody gave a little corner off what they had to make sure that person had. What happened with that with black people? What happened with us being able to love each other? It's like the one thing that we lack the most in the black community. We lack love, man. And you want to know why? So many of us grew up in dysfunctional homes that we never even learned how to love other people ourselves. And because of that, it's hard to accept love from other people. Because it's like when other people show us love, we get defensive. What if this person is this? What if that person is that? What if this person is the person that could change your fucking life? And just y'all being together is going to make the biggest difference in each other's lives than anything else. Like I said, man, black people, we lost our way. But it doesn't mean that we can't find it back. But it's going to take some real soul searching. It's going to take for people to sit back and say, who the fuck am I really? And answer that self to themselves honestly. Black men, I challenge y'all. I challenge y'all to go out and just one person that you may not be seeing eye to eye with. I challenge you to just try to make it right with one person that you into it with. Cause I promise y'all, man, like a lot of this shit can be solved with simply a conversation. But because we don't know how to be males and men and, be vulnerable and say, hey, you know what? I was in my feelings because of my pride. I let my pride get in the way of my integrity. That happens. We're men, we got testosterone. But at the same time, we shouldn't be so quick to act against one another and so slow to come together for one another. Because it's like you see a white cop kill a young black male or any black male. It's like, boy, everybody rally. But that same night, another dude from the community can do a drive-by, kill another, and we never hear another word about it. There's no walking in the streets like, damn, we got to stop. We got to be like 10 toes in no matter what. It's like if one black guy gets shot in the community, guess what? It takes everybody to be like, look, that shit is unacceptable. The reason why all this shit happened is there are no leaders. It's like the people that say that they're leaders, they want money, they want influence, they want power. They don't want what's right for us. And the ones that do want what's right for us, they're the ones that don't have enough influence because people look at them like they lame because they don't want to be the fucking stereotype. And I'm sick of that shit. I want to be able to love. I want to have friends that I love. Like, hey, I love you. You can come to my house and get whatever because I love you. I don't want to look at black people like, damn, this nigga again. I ain't gonna get my shit back. Doesn't matter whether you're gonna get your shit back. We still gotta look out for each other. It's not about getting back. It's about if that was God, every motherfucking nigga in the world would be like, oh, Jesus, here's my water, here's my... But at the same time, when you look at another brother, you don't see Jesus in that brother. And that's wrong, man. We all wrong. When you look at me and you stereotype me because of my hair when I'm walking down the street, you wrong. You don't know me. Let's be better. This is something that I'm willing to do whatever. I don't care. Whatever. And I can admit I was guilty of feeding into this shit. Making that motherfucking demon music with, yeah, got the sticks, got the 30, this nigga, that nigga. And guess what? You should really start feeling like that. Start really feeling like, yeah, man, I am me a nigga ass out. I do this. That shit is not normal. We ain't enemies. We got people that's gunning us down. Literally for no fucking reason. But they do that, and guess what we do? Pick up a sign. You pick up a sign and you protest, you scream. But when a black do it to a black, it's like, oh, let me not say nothing. We, can't talk to the police. It's like, bruh, we fucking ourselves, bruh. 400 years, they fucked us. They fucked us so good that they was like, hey, listen, we fucked them so good, if we stop now, they'll continue to fuck themselves. And that's exactly what's happening. I can admit it. But at the same time, I want to fix it. Black men, start using your voice, man. We ain't got to use our finger for everything. Just because you don't agree with what somebody else is saying don't mean they got to die. Death is final. Finality. You can't take that shit back. You can't do it over. My mama look just like your mama, man. Like, you feel me? This dissing the dead shit, oh my God, this gotta be one of the worst things that I've ever viewed from black people, man. It made me feel like that's where we at now. And I ain't no bitch saying that, everybody that cross the line that they gotta live. No, I'm not saying that, because it's absolutely, some people do things that, you feel me? But an argument or a disagreement, that don't mean that somebody gotta die. That just mean we gotta talk that shit out. If y'all feel me, man, comment, like, subscribe, share this shit. But this it. This is the most important thing to me right now. I don't give a fuck about all the beef. Fuck the beef and who killing who. That is not important, man. What's important right now is us black men and the minority community coming and standing for something. Cause we ain't standing for shit right now. We standing for, oh, if a white kill a black, it's an issue. But if a nigga kill a nigga, oh, I guess it. Nah, man. That shit gotta go, man. We gotta learn how to talk to each other. Once again, man, y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Young and Lifted, Mr. Fly Forever, forever live young. Health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. That's what we own, Black America. Let's go.